Well, let me say this regarding silver. Forget about the fundamentals. It's mainly going to be Iraq and oil, and Iraq or Iraq or whatever, and oil. Now I know fundamentals are very much, yes, they do affect the price of everything, but that's when you're looking at it over the aggregate, very long term. It doesn't really explain why silver can go up like a rocket or crash like a stone when it gets too far ahead of itself. But let me just point out some of the basics. The real basics is that silver's always been a high-risk asset with a lot of volatility and very unpredictable. Now, the one thing with silver, though, recently, it's not been that type of animal. It's been almost highly predictable, ho-hum, not volatile at all. But usually when it stays flat for a long period of time like that, it's going to go one direction or the other, and I would think the direction is back upward again. Now, I know Obama sent 250 troops over to Iraq recently. He's going to, and that's about the pipeline going through Baghdad. There's airstrikes they're talking about, but all that type of stuff is going to drive the price of oil up. Now, I don't know if it's going to dissipate. The tensions are going to dissipate right away, but I tend not to think so, because even the stuff where we're talking about Ukraine, it looks like Putin's sending in the troops again in Ukraine, right? It's like well, I don't know how the deal is with the planning is on the top, because I realize Obama is basically like a puppet and a Manchurian candidate, and he is in fact projecting weakness as far as foreign policy in the United States. But is that by design or not? I don't know. But it is a fact that we are projecting weakness. I don't know if it's by design, but what that means is that Vladimir Putin's going to continue to edge his way into Ukraine. There's going to be more problems in Iraq. There's going to be more tensions in the Middle East. Oil is going to go up, and actually, I've always said that oil is going to lead the charge for the metals. If you look back in 2011, what happened? It was a Libya war, and even there's civil war brew even in Libya again. So all these things are going. It's going to be. That's what's going on, man. Now, I know a lot of people into silver are all concerned about the New World Order and stuff. And I just put something out just today about some of the UFO phenomenon. And, not that I could say too much. Boy, you can go into this subject for hours, and I don't want to go too down those rabbit holes. But I had to put it out there because there's another twist on this deal, because it could be that it's a scam, and a lot of it is a scam. Even of this small portion of that UFO alien stuff that looks very legit, a good portion of that, at least, I think, is human scam. And if you look at the New Age religion and all the occultism and all that kind of garbage, and how they're changing. They want to meld all the religions into one and stuff. That's all New World Order stuff. Actually, a lot of that's Nazi ideology to the max. It's what it is. But what's going on, I think, is that the elite probably have super, super high-end technology, man. But they're going to play a game, and I can tell you this: even if they do have super high-end technology, there's way more of us than them. That's the problem. And the problem is, how do they keep this from the public? How do they keep it from the public? I know, if it's going to be, because he would tell people that are working in the government it's for national security, but it may not be. It may be for control of the masses or something in the future. But I'm bringing this out because I want people to realize some of the way out stuff is probably true, but you don't want to go too far out with this garbage, because that, I think, is when it gets to be total disinformation. But some of the unusual might be true. Might be partly true. And I don't really know exactly what the truth is, because hey man, I don't have the elite guy like LW, Pastor LW, but he don't know. But anyway, I just have to tell you, though, I think there's when they have a crash, they probably will have a crash. I'm thinking this deal. I'm thinking that silver, gold, and platinum, palladium, and oil is all going to rise together pretty damn soon. And it doesn't take long for the stuff to really move up a lot. If silver goes through 50, it's going to go quite a bit. I said this before many times. It's going to go quite a bit through 50, maybe to 60, maybe to 72, 75. But I bet you don't go to 100 right away. Maybe a few years from now, maybe 2017, 2018, when the cycle repeats itself, maybe. But I bet you it don't happen just yet. And I think the dollar's going to be around, somewhat diminished. I know what they're going to be doing when the silver takes off again. It's getting, say, doubles or go. I'm thinking it's going to take off unexpectedly or be surprised. And I know what they're going to do. I don't want to put these. I don't really want to warn people too much because I want to sell it to somebody. I know I'm not going to sell it to the Wall Street. I'm going to be selling it to somebody else that's going to be telling me I'm an idiot because I'm selling silver for cash. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to be holding cash forever, that's for sure. But, it's like when the market goes up, you can't tell anybody anything. That's when you got the most silver religious zealots out there. It's like, you can't tell them anything. You can't tell them anything. When it was up over 40, it was like, yeah, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, it's going to go up to 90, it's going to go up to 100. I don't know. I think eventually it is. I think eventually, maybe several years down the road, it's going to be well over 100. But I think this next time up, it's not going to go up to that. And yeah, we're going to have serious inflation and all that type of stuff. But I don't want to say too much about this because I think I'm going to be accurate about it. And that's why I'm going to dump some of the physical even if it gets up over 50. Because I think the next height will be 60 to 75, somewhere in there. I don't really know exactly. But I think if it breaks through 50, 50 is going to be a big resistance. I know you're talking about 50 and it's below 20, right? But it doesn't take long for it to go up like a rocket. That's the way this animal is. It's been flat so long, and I'm seeing the conditions that make it move up are starting to come into play again. The thing with Iraq, the thing with Ukraine, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for it to really take off again. And I know how they're going to fan the flames of buy silver at any cost. I know how they're going to do that. The dollar's going to zero. Oh, I know what they're going to do. I already know what they're going to do. And they're going to help me out, I guess, because that's good. I don't want to really warn people too much, to tell you the truth. But I guess I don't have too big of a channel that I'm warning that many people anyway. So, you think I'm wrong? Fine. I think if you screw up next time and somebody buys it over $50, if you hold on, I'm suspecting waves. That's what I'm suspecting. It's going to take, it's been going in waves. If you look at, what was it, 2005, we went up to like $8. That was a height, it was really way up there. And in 2008, it was like 22, went all the way down to like 9 or something. Then it went up to 47.50 and it went all the way down to 20, or down to 18.60 or something. Yeah, man, it's waves. It's waves. The next wave up is going to, I think it's going to bust through the 50. It'll go quite a bit through the 50. 100? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe I'll be wrong, but like I said, I'll be selling in steps. I'm not going to be afraid to sell it. But I know there's going to be plenty of buyers out there because people are going to be like, when they see a curve like this, and it's like, wow, look at all the money people made. That's what they're going to be buying. Right up there. I don't know if I should warn them. I don't think I should warn people. I already know who's going to be pushing this. The usual fear mongers, the web bots, the Lindsey Williams people, all this garbage that's out there about, whatever the hell there is. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. But anyway, just keep sticking with your investment here. I wish I had the crystal ball for the future, but, if I had the crystal ball for the future, I don't know if I'd really tell people. But I don't really have a crystal ball for the future. So what I can only give you is, what historically has always happened. If you look back all the time, what causes gold to go up? International tensions. Usually, what are international tensions usually associated with? Middle East crisis, when oil goes up. Gold and oil have a fairly decent correlation. And it looks like pretty obvious that the Middle East tensions are going to be brewing. And it looks fairly obvious that Obama's showing weakness. I mean, it's taken a long time for this stuff to happen. I'm thinking, God, it should have happened already. I would have liked to just make the money and that's it, you know. But, and I know people are going to say that the dollar's going to go to oblivion. Maybe it will someday. Maybe it will someday. But I bet you it does not go to oblivion, at least for several years, despite the debt. Because I think the game with the debt is to bail out all the nations. All these nations are in debt. Japan's in debt. You know, everybody. You know, Italy, Spain, Greece, Germany. Everybody's in debt. The way they're going to do it is they're going to bail them out with an international bank or something like that and restructure everything. And we'll still have our U.S. dollar as our currency locally. We'll still have this currency. Maybe things will be priced a lot higher. I don't know. Probably. Probably. I mean, Alan Greenspan even warns about this. They drop some hints on stuff. But, yeah, I also want to state something because I know a lot of people talk about this stuff with the market of beast and electronic money and stuff. I'm going to tell you this. You know, there's a lot of religious interpretations on that garbage, you know, about the market of beast and, you know, the 666 and all this stuff. But I'm going to say this. You know, there's other things out there, and this is the way I look at it. The electronic chip, the market of beast, is not really what it is. If it's not the electronic chip, it's more like the not keeping the faith. It's more like not keeping the faith than anything. You know, in other words, you know, if you're going to buy and sell and trade and you got to do it electronically, you got to do it electronically. I mean, you're going to have to do that. You know, if they force you to do that, you're going to have to do that. You know, but that doesn't mean, you know, it's more or less, you know, it's like I'll get a little religious here. It's more or less like what Jesus says, you know, my kingdom's not of this earth. Render to Caesar what is Caesar's, and render to God what is God. In other words, as long as you keep the faith, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and you don't mix those two up, you're not accepting the market of beast. Actually, this market of beast stuff is probably all this new age crap that's out there. And the reason I put out this UFO video stuff is to kind of warn you of this new age stuff, which is junk the Nazis were into. You know, that's stuff they were into. Now, the only thing I liked about the Germans back then was that little Volkswagen Beetle, you know. That thing's pretty cool. You know, you can make a dune buggy out of it. You know, that was cool. But it's about the only thing I really liked about the Germans back then. It was the little Volkswagen Beetle. Otherwise, I don't like them. They're screwed up. They're a bunch of rule freaks, man. And I don't like rule freaks, man. They're like, Germans and Russians are like that. Russians are like that, too. Putin's like that. They're all screwed up. I'm a USA guy. It's like, you know, do your own thing. Screw this shit. You know, it's like the only thing I'd support, you know, in Germany is little Volkswagen Bugs. They're good cars, especially if they have a fuel crisis or something. You know? Anyway. Over and out. That's all I got to put out on this, because just use some common sense. And I'm probably going to put out something about some wild stuff with, you know, the voice overlay about, well, I might put, you'll find out. I got some crazy ideas on stuff, and I'd rather keep things a little more semi-entertaining than get too serious about all this shit, because if they blow the world up or some crap, you know, there ain't nothing I can do about it, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna worry about it, you know? I ain't gonna worry about it. So, you know, part of the problem is people worry too much, and you gotta keep a realistic view, but you don't want to worry too much, you know what I mean? So, over and out, I think silver's going up, but it ain't gonna go up to $500 right away anyway. That's for sure. Over and out.